Okay, so this next chapter we're going to first go over some basic vocabulary. So we're introducing polynomials, which in hindsight, we actually have already talked about this, so this could be partly review. So let's just go over it. The definition of a polynomial is in the name with the prefix poly, and nomial means an expression consisting of many terms. Okay, so more than three or more. The correct way to write a polynomial is considered standard form, which means it must be written in alphabetical order from starting with the highest exponent first. In this case, this example right here, the highest exponent, referring to the highest exponent in this problem, would be 3, but the highest exponent is called the degree. So what we're going to first talk about is how to name them, because each polynomial is different based off how many terms there are and the highest exponent in the problem. So we look at this chart to help us. When it talks about the degree, remember it's talking about the highest exponent within that polynomial. So if the highest degree is 0, constant, 1, linear, 2, quadratic, 3, cubic, 4, quartic, and beyond that would be polynomial. The number of terms within that polynomial is based off how many. So 1 would be monomial, 2 binomial, 3 tri, and 4 or more would be polynomial. So if I look at number 1, okay, just the number 6, okay, it has the highest degree of 0, so it's a constant. And since it is only one term, it is monomial. So the full name, if I were to classify it, would be a constant monomial. Okay, which means the highest degree is 0 and it has one term. If I look at number 2, the highest degree here, the highest exponent based off the variable would be a 1. Okay, so the highest exponent is 1, which means it would be linear. And since it still is this is considered one term, then it's also monomial. Okay. Number 3, if I look at it, these are 2 terms, but my highest exponent on this variable x is a 1, so that's also considered linear. But this time it consists of 2 terms, which makes it a binomial. So a linear binomial. Number 4, there are 3 terms here. The highest exponent that I see is a 2, so this makes it quadratic. And since there are 3 terms here, this is trinomial. Number 5, this highest exponent is a 3, that makes it cubic. And since there are only 2 terms, it's a cubic binomial. Number 6, the highest exponent is a 4, so that makes it quartic. And since there are 4 terms, 4 or more would be considered a polynomial. So that's just a quick little vocabulary lesson on how to classify polynomials. Then we practice putting it into standard form, which means we want to write it in alphabetical order and then go from highest exponent first. So if I look at number 7, there's nothing technically here to worry about when it comes to alphabetical order, but my exponents need to be from highest to lowest. So my highest exponent is 2x squared plus the next highest, which is 3x plus 1. So it's just rearranging this polynomial into standard form, which means highest exponent to lowest exponent. This has an exponent of 2, 1, and 0. If I look at number 8, again, we don't have to worry about alphabetical on this one. My highest exponent is 7x cubed. The next highest exponent is x squared, so plus x squared. The next highest is minus x, and then the last one would be plus 64. 3, 2, 1, 0 as my exponents. If I look at number 9, my highest exponent is that x cubed, so x cubed. The next highest would be 5x squared. The next highest would be minus x, and then plus 28, because 3, 2, 1, 0. Number 10, my highest exponent is 3, so x cubed, plus x. And then it's okay if it does skip, like it's not always going to go in numerical order. So this goes from 3 to 1, and then plus, this is negative x cubed, by the way. Got to watch the signs, and then plus 24. So it's just rearranging in standard form. The bulk of today, though, is focusing on simplifying polynomials, whether by adding or subtracting. So, I'm going to show you the easiest way that I know how to do it later when it comes to it. So, when I am adding and subtracting, remember, I can only add and subtract if they are the same last name. Think of it like combining like terms. That's all we're doing, but it looks like an addition or subtraction problem. So if I look at number 1, okay, 2x squared and 3x squared are like terms. So since I'm adding, 2x squared plus 3x squared is 5x squared. Then I look at the next like term, and we have 4x and 6x. So 4x plus 6x is positive 10x. Then I look at the next term, which would be positive 1 and positive 5 are like terms. 1 plus 5 is positive 6. Now, notice that I also did it in order because I did from highest power to lowest power. So it wasn't that I was just making it up. I went from highest power to lowest power. If I look at number 2, again, I want to look for like terms. So x and 3x are like terms. So 1x plus 3x is 4x. Positive 6 plus 5 is positive 11. Number 3, okay, I want to combine like terms, but if I look at it, I want to start with x cubed because it's the highest power. But there's nothing to combine with x cubed because it's the only one. So I'm just going to bring it down. It doesn't just disappear. Then I'm going to look at 2x squared and 3x squared. 2x squared plus 3x squared is plus 5x squared. Negative 4 plus positive 6 is positive 2. So be careful with your signs. And there's my answer. If I look at number 4, when I'm thinking about what goes in order, x comes before y. So let's take care of the x's. So I have 4x and 2x. Now, this is where you really need to be careful with the subtracting, okay? So always remember what we are subtracting whatever's here on the right. So I'm going to read it from left to right. 4x's minus 2x is 2x, okay? It especially becomes tricky right here. Negative 2y minus negative 6y. Be careful how I worded that. It's not negative 2 minus 6. It's negative 2y minus negative 6y. So if I were to do this just to check my work, negative 2 minus negative 6 is actually positive 4. I know a lot of us just want to do negative 2 minus 6, and that's a completely different answer. So you have to remember it's negative 2 minus negative 6 is actually positive 4y. And notice I did x, then y. Number 5, I want to take care of x squared. X squared minus x squared cancels out, so I'm not going to write anything there. Then positive 6x minus 6x also cancels out, so nothing there. And negative 4 minus negative 4, these don't cancel because it's negative 4 minus negative 4. Well, actually, if I do look at it, negative 4 minus negative 4 is actually 0. So my answer for this problem, because they all subtract from each other, is 0. I don't want to leave it just blank. Number 7. Think of it again like combine. It's all it is just combining like terms. So this one's a little odd that it doesn't have parentheses. But if I want to go in alphabetical order, 3x plus 2x is 5x. 6y minus 8y is negative 2y. Okay. When it comes to the word problem version of it, okay, just figure out what operation they're doing. Find the difference of these two trinomials. So difference meaning subtracting. Okay. And difference is not one of those trick words where you need to rearrange it. It's just subtract it. So again, if I look at like terms, 6x squared minus 4x squared is 2x squared. 3x minus, be careful here, 3x minus negative 2 is like adding 2, so that would be positive 5x. So use your calculator if you have trouble with those. Negative 5 minus 3. Negative 5 minus 3 is minus 8. So be extra careful with subtracting. Okay, just more practice problems. X squared minus negative x squared is actually 2x squared. Then 6 minus 6 is 0, so all I'm left with is 2x squared. 10, 3x plus 2x is 5x. Negative 6y plus y is negative 5y. Number 11, 5x minus 8x is negative 3x. Negative 6 minus 2 is negative 8. So subtraction can be tricky. Just read it from left to right carefully. 3x squared minus 8x squared is negative 5x squared. Then x minus 4x is negative 3x. Negative 4 minus negative 6 is positive 2. 13, x squared plus x squared is 2x squared. 6x plus 6x is 12x. And positive 5 plus positive 5 is positive 10. 15, 3x minus 3x is 0, so those cancel. 6 minus negative 6 would be positive 12. So my final answer is 12 on that one. They don't all cancel. 16, now this is one of those word problems where it does get a little tricky, because it says subtract this from this. And now first thing is we see subtraction, so we think, oh, let's just subtract this and this. But since it says subtract this from this, order does matter. So think of it if I said subtract 6 from 8. I don't want to do 6 minus 8. If I'm subtracting 6 from 8, it's actually 8 minus 6. I actually have to read it backwards. So what I'm going to do here is just flip these. So it's going to be 7x squared plus 8x minus 4 minus 6x squared plus 8x minus 6. So be careful on that terminology. 7x squared minus 6x squared is x squared. 8x minus 8x is 0. And negative 4 minus negative 6 is positive 2. Okay, so again, just combining like terms, making sure order matters, and then highest to lowest exponents in alphabetical order, all of those things.